Hello everyone and welcome to Lush and Salty Aquariums. My name is Stefan. Thank you for coming to my channel. I so much appreciate it. So it's been a minute since we looked at this tank, a 12-gallon long from Lifeguard Aquatics. I pulled out some of the emergent plants that were just going nuts to the point where I started to not be able to see much water, let alone fish. So I pulled out a few Hygrophila coriambosa. What that plant is this here. And I had some big old leggy branches of it going every which way here, and the rootstocks went all up and into this driftwood, and it just got out of hand. Now I generally love that wild look, but eventually, you know, I wanted to see fish, ironically, right? Fish in my aquariums, and I do have some in here. And when there's more real estate, and when you know I'm filming and we don't see them, but we're gonna find them before this video's out, that's for sure. But the tank looks great, I think. I want to point out some of the organisms and some of what's growing in and out of it. I picked up an air plant today, this beautiful one with some red in it, and I learned that I should about once every couple of weeks submerge them for 20 minutes, then pull them out, keep them upside down so no water gets trapped inside, and then occasionally mist them. I knew misting them was a good plan, but the dunking part, and I've got one here. Isn't that cool? God, that's badass, sitting on this antique ornament. This is a from the 50s, a bubbler, and I've got this wicked, it looks like an octopus coming out of the treasure chest, doesn't it? But if you don't take care of your air plants, they will dry and die, like this one here. It still looks pretty cool, and I'm keeping it for a moment as some sort of, I don't know, peripheral decoration. But I was told by the people who sold me this one, what I just told you earlier. I've got some simple Home Depot plants. They're not in anything other than the plastic pots I got them in, but because I've incorporated them behind the still life of antique aquarium ornaments and driftwood and lava rock, they sort of blend right into the hunk of wood at the top here. That's really doing great with that plant I told you about, the 2 stems of Hygrophila coriambosa. I've got some Christmas moss on both sides of the driftwood there, which is basically just sitting atop the aquarium, the driftwood is. And in the back, that's growing in out of the water, is some pothos, a couple varieties. And on the top there, the ubiquitous duckweed and frogbit. And you can see the fabulous, well, you can see my unfabulous reflection, but look at all that rootstock. Now I like that. The difference with the coriambosa plant, you see how those are those 2 white roots there. They will stick into the ground and become pretty tight and start to pull the plant down. And all in all, it starts to take over. Now, that's a cool effect until it isn't. And I had reached the verdict that it wasn't here. And I'm not sure what, if anything, I'll do up top there. But for the time being, now here we go. This is a pregnant female gudgeon, a peacock gudgeon. You can see her big belly full of eggs. And now there's a male in here too. And I know they spawn every week. I see the behavior. I've got a little cave for them there with moss wrapped around it. You can barely see the opening, but it's there. And dollars to donuts, the male is sitting in there, maybe fanning some eggs, but I doubt it because of how fat she is. So I think they're ready to do it again. And I've got a bunch of these little adorable chili rasboras. I'm gonna try to find, when they school, it's pretty cool. There's a couple of them. I've got 12 in there, and I cleared down these stem plants here so they have all that real estate which to operate, plus the flow from this smaller oase. It's actually the thermo though, the heater's built in. This is one of the smallest ones where they offer that. And so it is a canister, external filter, and it pushes the water across the length of the tank, as you see. And you can tell the movement from the frogbit as it's being pushed along. I don't know why we just have 2 chili rasboras here. Usually they swim in a group, a pack, but whatever. So I've got the 2 peacock gudgeons. I've got 1 sparkling gourami. Actually, he's not doing so great. He used to have some more friends in here. I thought I had lost them all, which is why I got the peacocks, and then I found him, and he's in there as well. I've got Autosynclus and Pygmy Coreodora, which you see specimens there, and some cherry shrimp and ramshorn snails. Obviously, there's an auto cat right there, and very little detritus on the bottom. You can see how clean everything is. I attribute that to my awesome fish keeping, but moreover just a shit ton of plants. Live plants is the trick, right? The magic trick. If you can figure out live plants, everything else comes much easier. There's a nice big snail with his whole foot out pushing across the bottom. This is pink flamingo crypticorn. That's somewhat expensive, rare crypt. I've got 3 of them in here. There's 2 others right there. 1, 2. A bunch of epiphytes, the ubiquitous, I've used that word twice in this video, meaning all over the place, Java fern and Anubias, and that's in some spiderwood with lava rock forming the left-hand portion of the tank, which kind of creates the inverted hockey stick flowing down with all these crypts, Hygrophila P, more Anubias, more mosses, the stem plants that I just chopped in back. And then this, on this side, since it's mostly above ground with those roots, it doesn't really violate the aesthetic for this tank. It still has a nice flow, and I'm pretty happy with it. What do you guys think? All right, so let me know, and as always, keep your hands in the tank. Ciao for now.